What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we're going to be talking about The Bear. Now, season two cannot have come any faster. I was super excited for it to come out, especially what I really enjoyed of season one was really amazing. Has to be one of my favorite shows that I have ever watched, especially coming from the food industry myself. I really understand the dynamic between the chef and the environment, the chaotic nature of everything. And season two just brought all that even more. Now, this time around, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of the family, a little bit of more nuances, exactly what the first season brought to us. And now we get to see exactly, all that brought to life, a little bit of what's the reasoning behind Carmen's, the stress and the way he looks at himself, the family dynamic, a little bit more of the restaurant, and a little bit more of character development, which was pretty awesome to see, especially with a lot of these characters that have kind of set in my heart, and I want them to win. I want them to succeed. There's none of them that I don't want, and it's just one of these things that you work hard, you put in the effort, you put in the patience, you put in not only patience but also allow yourself to have talent, and you can succeed. And we can see this with majority of these characters who care and have, a little bit of rough around the edges, but in this season we get to see exactly why those edges are rough, and this has to be one of the best follow-ups to a first season I think I've ever seen, because they added more to the punch. They added more. They had more time as well. There was a couple 1 hour shows where most of them were like 20, 30 minutes. Now we had like hour 45, 50, 55. Like, they actually added more to the show and actually brought more into the storytelling. One of my favorite episodes that we're going to be talking a little down the road, it was called Fishes or Fish. It was episode 2 season episode 6 of season 2. My apologies. We're going to be talking about that a little down the road on this review, but let's get a little bit into what we're going to be expecting to see in season 2. And if you're going to watching it, make sure you go watch my first review of season 1 if you guys are interested in doing that. There should be a link in the bottom description. But with all that being said, I cannot say that I was not excited for this, because I was super excited for this. After season 1, I just had an amazing expectations, and I was hoping that the next season was going to be great, and it was going to come fast. Now we're a year later, I think, or a couple months later, and now we're here, season 2, dude, and it has blown me away. Like, from episode to episode, just as addicting that season 1 was, just as addicting this season is going to be as well. So if you guys are wanting to watch something you can binge watch, something that's palatable, something that's like easy to consume and also very rewarding in the end, this is a show for you. I cannot stress this enough, guys. This is a great show. Hulu and FX is making great content at the moment right now, and you got to catch a lot of these shows because they're really great in quality storytelling, narrative, character development, everything that you can ask for. It's amazing here, even comedic timings at times. Like, it's actually pretty good. A lot of the characters are lovable. A lot of the characters, even though, like how I said earlier, are rough around the edges, especially Cousin. If you guys are watching the show, Cousin has a big character development in the show, that you guys are gonna be satisfied to watch, and it's just like you just want to see each character win. One of the characters ends up going. I'm not sure if it's Dutch, Sweden. They go somewhere. They go somewhere to learn a little bit more about the baking, a little bit more of that, and we get to see some familiar faces. We get to see Adam Warlock from the Guardians of the Galaxy have an appearance in this show. The guy who plays him, like, I'm forgetting his name. It's going over my head, but you guys will know exactly what I mean. Like, we're seeing big names, especially in one of my favorite episodes that we're going to be talking a little bit down the road here, but. Wow, man. Wow, what an exciting show. From the cooking gets more and more intense. This time around they're building more of the restaurant. They kind of break everything down, and we kind of see a time lapse. The whole show is centered around building the restaurant, the opening the restaurant, creating the restaurant, conceptual ideas, and also dealing with relationships that they have with each other and relationships they are building along the way. We get to see Carmen, start to date somebody new, having a little bit more of a love interest, opening up rather than just being straightly focused on the restaurant itself. It's really great. It's really great. You really get to see him open up further than you did in the beginning. We get to see one of the sous chefs turn into the head chef, kind of get to see her journey as well, trying to, put her foot down and allow herself to kind of also be fighting for the attention to Carmen because he's kind of like everywhere and he's kind of also the leader, but the leader is not leading. So she's kind of has to put it into her own hands and she kind of has to take all that in and kind of take everything that she's been learning, everything, and have a lot of bit patience for Carmen, have a lot of bit patience for the restaurant itself. Like it's really amazing, guys. It's a really good show. Like I really recommend people to go watch the show. It was a very rewarding show. The whole time that in the first one it was a chaotic energy. The season one was chaotic energy. People were kind of not respecting each other. What is a chef? What are you talking about? We do it in our own way. We're gonna get this done how we do it. Or nobody wanting to break out of that shell. Nobody wanting to be greater than they don't want to move. They're already comfortable in that position. But this season really gets to show them like, hey, no, you actually have an opportunity to be great chef. One of the characters and two of the characters end up going to a culinary art school while they're building this restaurant. They need to do something rather than just sit around and kind of do not say do nothing, but just not sit around and do nothing, I guess, right? So they send him off to school, and the excitement of one of the characters is like, wow, I'm actually gonna be a chef. I'm actually gonna do this. Like the excitement of her is amazing. Like she's like, this is an actual possibility. And there's another one that goes with her, and he kind of ends up, retreating from it, gets a little nervous, and goes back to the show because he's like, I was comfortable where I'm at. I'm not comfortable with all this, and he ends up, kind of abandoning that thing of like, am I able to do this? And you get to see the dynamic between like someone who's ready and going and excited for the future and somebody who's living in the past in their comfort zone, not wanting to move. Like there is so much character development everywhere you look. Any of the characters, you can see them having a story. Anywhere you look, you can see them having like their own trials and tribulations with themselves. And this season does a fantastic job of following everybody around and kind of their journey of what they're doing, but also getting them together and seeing how they work as a unit and as a team. It's great. I don't want to spoil it too much, even though this is already kind of spoilery, so forgive me there, but whatever. You're gonna enjoy it regardless of that. It's nothing like crazy that I'm saying, but I'm just showing you some of the themes that have excited me myself. And as much as it is about the restaurant, it is also about the family. It is about the dynamic that they're all creating together. And we get to see now, especially we're gonna be talking about episode 6, Fishes. Wow, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Mulaney, Bob Odenkirk, freaking all these John Bernthal as his what was it? His cousin, his uncle. Don't get me wrong, he's a big character. He's Michael. Let's just call him Michael because the one who passed away and gave him the restaurant. All these amazing actors in one house, just playing all these chaotic, kind of intense and emotional people who don't know how to handle their emotions. Mom, you can see her, she's kind of center of everybody, respected by everybody, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Wow, what a spectacular performance that she made, dude, because holy crap, dude, the thing that you could see her confidence as an actor. You can see this is the character that I'm gonna play, and everybody's just orbiting around her, like almost this like chaotic symphony that is happening with these characters in that moment. This is why this has to be my favorite episode of the season. You guys really need to check it out, and it's the longest one as well. So I'm telling you guys, this is a great show. You could get to see why everybody is the way they are, and kind of the walking around eggshells that they had to do with their own mother, and her having this lack of self-awareness. And the mother plays a big role in the show. It plays a big role into what these characters have become. You get to really see it. If you go back into season 1, you see why exactly they made the decisions that they made. Now back into season 2, you get to see exactly what created those. You get to see back in the little nuances of why Carmen reacts the way he is, and why they have this so much respect for their mother, and why his sister, or I'm sorry, I forgot what the relationship with it is, but I think it's a sister or the daughter or something like that is pregnant through season 2, and the inability of her to share vulnerability with her own mother. Like, oh, what is such a great show! Like, there's so much to talk about here. In episode 6 was so amazing. It has to be hands down one of the greatest episodes I've seen of a show in a very, very long time. Reminds me of even like Breaking Bad. It reminds me of Game of Thrones. Like, I like it's and they'd all do it in such a small house. It's a compact house, but you got these massive stars. You got all these guys just everywhere that you seen before. Better Call Saul, The Punisher, John Mulaney, the comedian. Like oh my god, like you get to Jamie Lee Curtis after Everything Everywhere All at Once, like her performance, like oh my god, I'm so ecstatic for you guys to watch. I really hope that you guys come back to this video and let me know in the comments down below exactly what you think, because wow, man, I'm blown away by this season. This season was fantastic. You know, it was just great. I think if you're asking me to nitpick things, if you're really asking me, because I need to be fair in my review and I want to be as transparent as I can here. Um, there is a little bit of slowdown in some, but it's just, this is a nitpick. This is not even like, but I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Here's why I'm not gonna give this season a 10. There were moments that were dull a little bit, a little moments that kind of needed to be put there, like kind of when they were having a little bit of discussion with, a discussion with Carmen and the sous chef, or the main chef now, or Carmen and his new partner. Like there's a little bit dull moments where it just kind of, this scene needed to be here. Like, was this really needed here? Like there's just those moments where things could have been cut out maybe, but you know. Other than that, I mean, what a fantastic season. This season has to be like one of the best things and one of the best shows I've seen. 2 seasons in a row. I cannot wait for season 3 because I know it's gonna come. This freaking show better not be canceled, because they better be going for that Michelin star. It was hinted through the whole season 2. They better be going for that Michelin stars. They just opened the restaurant. Fantastic. Oh, let me talk a little bit about Cousin. Cousin has this great character development that you didn't think was gonna happen. He really bloomed like a freaking flower. Like he really, like those edges, or those rough around the edges, smoothed out by the end of it, because he went to a Carmen ends up sending him to one of the really famous restaurants within the universe of the show. So he kind of has to work from someone who's just polishing the forks, polishing the spoons, to like now being a receptionist and being someone who's kind of moving around the staff and stuff. And he really brooms. He really disrespects it at first. He doesn't like it. Why do I gotta be here? Why do I gotta polish these spoons for 8 hours? And then all of a sudden, by the end of it, you get to see him just as a new human being, transformed. Like it's an exciting thing, and whatever he transformed into brought it back into their own restaurant, and it was just a perfect full circle moment for everybody, and it's super exciting show to really watch. And I think that's about it, guys, that I really want to talk to. I'm gonna give this show a 9 out of 10. Fantastic show. Both seasons have to be one of the best. This show is one of my favorite shows so far. One of my favorite shows. And if you guys have not watched it, this show is super palatable. Palatable. You know what I'm trying to say. It's very consumable. So if you're somebody who's ready to watch and binge watch something, then here's something you can do. And hopefully you guys enjoy the show as much as I did. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash that sub button. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.